The recap is brought to you by General Effect Media. Be sure to follow and subscribe to GEM for reviews, breakdowns, rankings, and other podcasts such as Bring It In. We've also introduced the 2023 DCI Score Dashboard by bandscores.net and a new article series called Back of the Bus. Be sure to check out all of that and more on General Effect Media. Tuesday, July 11th, 11:45 a.m. in the Superior Central Time Zone. And you are correct. I released an episode of the recap yesterday, Monday, July 10th. But this morning, on our GEM Slack, I was discussing some caption rankings with one of the nerds, and I realized that my data was wrong because there was a show last night. There is updated info that is throwing some whole things up in the air, and I think it's really important to talk about. Last night, in Roseville, California, was the DCI Capital Classic. And we had 5 world-class cores and 4 open-class cores. The Blue Devils, Mandarins, Blue Knights, Pacific Crest, the Academy, Blue Devils B, Gold, Golden Empire, Impulse. And every single one of these drum cores have scored something that impacts top to bottom. And by bottom, I don't really mean bottom, but yesterday I spoke about how 12 through 17 was going to be pretty wonky. Holy crap, I think I left out some groups. And we haven't even seen Cascades, who debut tomorrow night, and Jersey Surf, who is maybe 10 or so days away from their first show. So Blue Devils won the show. 85.8 was their score. Mandarins came in second, which was 80.65, which puts Mandarins in 6th place right now in the overall rankings based on last score. Right now, Blue Devils, then Crusaders, then Carolina Crown, then Blue Coats, then Phantom Regiment, Mandarins in 6th. We still have Blue Stars in 7th, Cavaliers in 8th, Cadets in 9th, Colts 10th, Troopers 11th, and Blue Knights, by scoring a 74.65, keeps them overall ranked in 12th place. However, things have changed. 13th place is now occupied by Pacific Crest, who scored a 73.65. 14th place is now occupied by the Academy, who scored a 72.5. That's right. 13th to 14th, all different now. Granted, it's because they had shows, and Madison, Spirit, and Crossman did not. Madison now is in 15th, Spirit in 16th, Crossman in 17th. Now we get into the open class cores, who are impacting the overall rankings of world class cores because some of their captions are scoring higher than world class cores. Blue Devils B scored a 70.2, which puts them in 18th over Music City. Gold, 67.5, which puts them in 20th over Genesis. Golden Empire, 63.5. They're overall 23 right now. Impulse, 60.6. They're overall 24. But what does that all mean? Why am I talking about this? Why is it all crazy right now? Because captions, folks, captions. We talked about yesterday strengths and weaknesses. And with other drum corps performing and competing last night and more to come tonight, we've thrown some things all over the place, right? We mentioned Blue Devils performed. Their captions didn't change much. Number 1 all the way overall. Mandarins, 7th in brass now, 8th in percussion now, 8th in color guard, 6th in visual, 6th in general effect. Pretty consistent. Blue Stars, however, they have a glaring weakness, and this is just the facts. Based on their overall caption rankings, brass is in 9, good. Color guard in 6, definite strength. Visual in 7th, GE in 7th. Right now, their overall percussion ranking is 14th. 14th. That's not in finals, folks. In case you don't remember, we only take 12 to finals. So that's an issue for them. Cavaliers still battling it out. Pretty much 8th, 9th across the board, except for percussion in 4th. Again, overperforming. The Colts, now the scores have been impacted a little bit. Colts brass, 7th place overall, a definite strength compared to color guard, visual, and GE in 10th. Brass is in 13th right now. Again, that's not in finals right now. That is a weakness compared to their other captions. Troopers, they did not compete, but they still have a weakness. 16th in color guard. Their color guard has now been adjusted to 16th due to the scores that took place yesterday. Of course, we acknowledge, as usual, head-to-head is more important. You get a better read. Scores across contests can't accurately be compared, but you kind of can. Kinda, I said. Kinda can. It allows you on there. Now, Blue Knights are still tracking for 13th overall. And they still have a glaring weakness, but now they have 2 captions that put them in finals. Brass in 12th, GE in 12th. Percussion and visual are in 13th place right now, but color guard's a problem for them right now. 18th place in color guard, yet again being outscored by Impulse. Open class drum corps, they are in 17th place, 1 spot above the Blue Knights in color guard. This is 2 shows in a row now that Impulse has been scored higher than Blue Knights in color guard. Madison Scouts, their color guard now has dropped as well to 19th. That is a weakness for the Madison Scouts, behind the Blue Knights, behind Impulse, behind Troopers. Now Academy has moved up. As we said, they're making some moves. They're causing some conversations to be had. Remember, they are 14th place overall right now in the rankings. They have 2 captions in finals as well. Percussion 11, Color Guard in 11. Both of those captions are scoring higher than the 2 Blue Knights captions, 12th and 12th. They're different captions though. However, Brass 16, Visual 16. Their performance captions when it comes to music and marching, not as strong. GE in 13. So what it's looking like is if Academy can play better and march better, they will maybe move up to 13th and above. Who knows? Crossmen, due to the nature of scores coming out around them, 15th in brass, 15th in percussion, 13th in color guard, 12th still visual. Now they were in finals based on color guard, but that dropped due to the fact that other people performed and competed. General effect, 17th. They're not digging the show right now, but it's early. Changes will probably happen. Pacific Crest, they have made the biggest moves. Currently seated 13th right now. They are in finals in 2 captions. Percussion 12, color guard 12. Visual 15, general effect 15, brass 18. So much like the Academy, much like some of the other ones, if they can just play their horns a little better. Sorry, it was Pacific Crest. Academy, because that's their weakest captions. Pacific Crest plays a little better, even get it up to 16, 15. They're in finals? I'm not really sure. Spirit of Atlanta did not perform, but they have a glaring issue right now. Percussion, 17. But their strengths, brass and visual, 14th. No captions in finals for Spirit of Atlanta. Music City is slowly losing a little bit of steam right now. Their weakest caption is Color Guard in 21st place. Every other caption, 17, 18, 19, 19. Blue Devils B, not in finals, but their Color Guard's knocking on the door. 14th place. Gold, 20th place Color Guard, above Music City, which is something to talk about. And then, as I said, Impulse in 17th place in color guard, putting them above Gold, Music City, Madison Scouts, the Blue Knights, and just below Troopers. So, I'm not going to steal any thunder from any future articles that are going to come out or other podcasts that are working on this stuff right now. But I will say, if we are looking at the way the captions are breaking down, if you were to go to Vegas and you were going to put money on groups that would have the highest odds of getting in, that's all I'm going to say about that. The Academy have 2 captions in finals. Pacific Crest have 2 captions in finals. Blue Knights have 2 captions in finals. One would assume that the 3 drum corps that are, as of this date, the closest, the most likely to get that 12th spot would be the Blue Knights, the Academy, and Pacific Crest. This makes for a truly exciting, bonkers season because right now we have 17 world-class drum corps that are battling it out right now. Blue Devils being 18th, they're not going to Indy. So Music City's going to move up, possibly. We haven't seen Jersey Surf yet, and we haven't seen Cascades. How's it going to go? It's going to be wild. I'm super excited. As you can tell, I'm not sure I'm going to release a recap after every show day because that would be inundated. But if you're a stats nerd or you like this kind of thing, shout out to Jen Barton, Jenny B. You might like this. I don't know. I'll probably start off every episode like they would do this kind of thing because it is called the recap. But it's exciting. I'm super excited. And check back. We'll see if we're going to do another episode. But I want to talk about 2 more things. Today they released a trailer for Wonka, the movie, starring Timothée Chalamet. It looks fine. But as is the trope with film trailers for the last, I don't know, any number of years, I blame the Trent Reznor, Scott Atticus Finch. Why did I say Scott? I blame them for the utilization of taking a popular song, rock, whatever, and then redoing it ever since they did it in The Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So they take Pure Imagination. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. You should go check it out just for that music. If you like it, you can kind of see and hear a little twist on it. I'm cautiously optimistic. But before we go, this is not officially a Barbie podcast, but based on the fact that this is the third episode in a row of the 3 episodes that I'm going to talk about the Barbie movie, you might as well call it that. Have you seen, and if you have not, you need to go run, don't walk to the place that you watch your internet movies. There's a clip of Ryan Gosling performing I'm Just Ken. And for those of you that don't remember Ryan Gosling from the Mickey Mouse Club, he did sing in La La Land. He saved jazz, if you remember. It is iconic. It is fantastic. It's less than a minute and a half. It screams power ballad, but it's fantastic. It is setting my mind on fire of what the heck this movie's going to be about. I've read comments that said, what if Ken's the actual villain of the movie? Which I don't think so. But it's interesting because I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to, it will play at the outro of this episode. But go right now. I watched it on the E! News channel on YouTube. No free shout out. Sponsor the pod. Ryan Gosling performs I'm Just Ken. Check it out. It'll bring a smile to your face because it brought one to mine. But hey, this was the recap episode 3 of sorts. Who's keeping track? Check back. We might talk about other things. We've got a whole bunch of shows coming up in the drum corps world, if you are interested in that kind of thing. Tonight, July 11th, Drums Across America in Georgia, Resound in Bakersfield, California, the Kiwanis Thunder Drums in Mankato, Minnesota. Those 3 shows tonight. And then we have 3 more shows the next night, 1 show. Then it's a wild weekend of drum corps if you're into that sort of thing. So check back. I may have another episode tomorrow. I'm not sure. It just depends on how the scores come out, how the rankings come out, how the captions go crazy. So be sure to check it out. And I leave you with Ryan Gosling, the man who saved jazz. And I'm Just Ken.
I just don't know who I am without you.
You're Ken.
But it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken.
Doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number 2. No one knows how hard I tried. Oh, I have feelings that I can't explain. They're driving me insane. All my life been so polite. 'Cause I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility?